the concept of underwater domain awareness definitely was a little new to me, because I was, aware of maritime domain awareness to a certain extent. But I think this new dimension, and after having heard some of the most eloquent speakers before me, has widened my horizon and deepened my understanding on these issues. And at the outset, let me compliment Commander Das for conceptualizing and driving Maritime Research Center and Neerdhwani Technologies. I went through the concept note, I went through the document that you shared with me. I think it's eminently, it's applaudable that such an adventure has taken place, and such a committed effort is going on towards highlighting the need for underwater domain awareness and taking this concept forwards, and also involving multiple stakeholders in understanding and in promoting and taking the future directions towards underwater domain awareness. And as we have seen, some of the important things that I made a note of is about the importance of underwater domain awareness in strategic maritime economy, in terms of prevention and mitigation of natural disasters. Underwater environment was something which made a huge impact on me when some of you spoke about it. And of course, the geopolitical and international relations angle of underwater domain awareness and maritime domain awareness. And to this end, I think I'm very, very happy that I was part of this discussion, and I learned a lot today. And I also saw that there is a humongous scope for collaboration and cooperation between multidisciplinary universities like ours, and which people who think, strategic think tanks, and centers like yours, Dr. Arnab, and also public and private sector undertaking, how we can make rapid progress with regard to many of these issues in terms of academic collaborations, and in terms of technology collaborations, in terms of industry academia collaboration, in terms of, just now I was it was great listening to Dr. Abhay as a head of technology innovations of Ministry of Human Resource Development. MAHE was in the forefront last year that we hosted the Smart India Hackathon for the entire duration of its this thing. So things are, today I was extremely pleased. And just to highlight some of the important aspects of academia industry partnership in any of these newer developmental areas, I'd like to highlight, just to bring to the notice of the August gathering here, that the partnership between academia and industry has proven to be effective in catalyzing innovation and growth for both the industry and the academia and the users thereof. Although such collaborations are common in developed countries, in a country ours, it's still in infancy. Industry is definitely not utilizing the kind of resources that academic institutions possess, especially with regard to, young, innovative minds that are, teeming in our educational institutions. So this is earliest we make an endeavor to, get these people involved in developmental processes and research and developmental activities in terms of finding solutions to simple and complex problems. The economy of the country will see an upward trend quite soon. An example to look at how the Harvard MIT cluster in US, the Golden Triangle of Cambridge University, Imperial College of London, and University College of London in Europe are examples of academia coming together with partnering with various industries, and they look at the economic benefits that these partnerships have brought to the world. In India, more and more frequent academic industry collaborations are absolutely essential. See, we need to look at, industries and users looking towards our institutions and seeking to find solutions to their research problems. This is where the innovation will come. This is where cost-effective products will develop. This is where cost-effective services will develop. And also, from job seekers, many of our students will become job providers, which is perhaps would be a great thing to happen to a country like ours, where millions of people are looking for opportunities to earn a living. And the co-development and the co-creation model of academia industry will be mutually beneficial, and there'll be enough opportunities for both to share the fortunes of the outcome. And that is where the importance of cooperation, collaboration, creation of new knowledge through partnership will lead to new products, new processes, new services, and definitely make life easier for the community and the society that we live in. Looking at where academic institutions like ours can contribute to ideas with Dr. Arnab and the center are doing, and all the senior speakers who addressed us before this have looked about. I think I'm clearly looking at two areas where there can be very quick and early partnerships that from academic institutions like ours and strategic think tanks like yours can immediately take forward to. One is at the academic level, and I've already spoken to our head of the department of geopolitics and international relations, Dr. Nandakishore. I'm sure he'll be getting in touch with you, Dr. Arnab, very soon. And we look forward to collaborating and cooperating with you, looking at establishing geopolitical research and maybe even programs and courses for capacity building as we go forward. Second issue which has struck me is the kind of the facilities and the resources that the institutions like ours have, and the opportunities the industry and the users, both in the public sector and the private sector, can make use of. In fact, research in the field of acoustics, sonars, digital signal processing, precision engineering and instrumentation, artificial intelligence, machine learning and big data, cybersecurity in underwater environment and technology, especially with economic focus on underwater cable systems and their control systems, and also energy transmission lines like underwater, and of course the protection and the national security of our economic zone. And some of the newer things that we can seriously look at in cooperating with the industry and research organization within the public sector and the private sector are underwater robotics, unmanned underwater vehicles, design and simulation of many, many complex problems, and simulation, as we have all seen, can find quicker solutions rather than conventional R&D as we look forward to. And of course, innovation and entrepreneurship. And that is something which is very critical to the nation building. And of course, the institutions are always, higher education institutions are always into capacity building and capability building. And with the kind of investment that some of the major higher education institutions have made in their infrastructure and the research capability and the human resource capability, I'm sure the stage is well set for a mutually cooperative and collaborative work. And I always believe that together each one achieves more. It means whatever may be my individual capacity, when 3-4 people join together, the combined efforts will be so much more potentiating that the outcomes will be that much more better. And therefore, I foresee a lot of opportunities, and I foresee a lot of cooperation and collaboration possibilities in all these things. And I'm particularly quite attached to Navy at a personal level. Though I served the Indian Army in Olive Greens for 38 years, I had a reasonably long tenure with Navy. I did a 3-year tenure in the INHS Ashwini. And I also took up some research projects on naval ships with regard to noise levels and noise-induced deafness among engine room sailors. And perhaps I'm one Army officer who has sailed in all classes of ships and submarines. So that was in the mid-80s, but then the fascination has not left me. And I'm sure MAHE is willing, MAHE will be supportive, and MAHE with open arms will invite any such collaborative efforts towards making things better in the underwater domain awareness campaign that you have taken up. And towards capability building and nation building, we will take we will walk hand in hand with you to make this happen.